Test, 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 test. Whoops, you guys can hear me now. Sorry. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Sorry for a little bit of a slow start. I was right about to switch over to my camera view and my microphone stopped working, so I had to unplug it and turn it back on because, that's how things go when you're going live. I'm sorry that I couldn't do a stream last week. I was giving a career day presentation at my old middle school to a bunch of eighth graders, which was kind of terrifying. Eighth graders are a little intimidating. Um, it went mostly fine though not one of them laughed at any of my jokes. Like not even a smirk. They were just stone faced. A little crazy. I hear the volume is low. It looks like it is not low on my end. So, if anyone else can confirm that, let me know. But I'm gonna keep moving forward. Um, Let me see quickly if the chat is going to work. Because it's always nice when the chat shows up, but it doesn't like to participate. Also, I'm noticing here that I put in this cool little feature to show stats, and this is trying to tell me that there are only 13 people watching right now, and I'm looking over at the chat, and there are 66 in one of them, and I can't see the stats for the other one. So why are you trying to make me look like a baby for all these people? Because this is not what I want to see here. Let's This is embarrassing. Anyway, in today's live stream, I am going to be making some digital stickers, kind of like these little situations over here, that you can use on like Instagram and your social stories, or you can use them however you want. You could put them over video graphics, but these are ones that I have available. I have a lot of them. If you are using the GIF search on Instagram in the stories, and you just search Chris Piascik, there's a whole bunch of them on there. So I thought it would be fun to make some new ones today. Maybe I'll take some requests. I don't really have any real like specific ones that I want to do. At least I think I don't. I was thinking of things that I want to use, like maybe like a cute one or like a crazy one, just something that you might post over a picture. Maybe a cool or a wow. I was thinking a wow could be funny because it could be like a wow face, and the W's could kind of look like fingers, so it's like wow. I don't know. That's the plan. Also, another update. Yesterday, I was on my good friend Tom Fros's podcast, Thoughts on Illustration. It's a great podcast. Tom is an amazing illustrator, and that episode will go up on Tuesday. I'm linking that There's a link below. I already linked it. It's there. My damn graphic is still showing that there's only 14 people here, and I do not have the ego to let that happen. Is it the ego or the I'm too self-conscious for that to say that. Maybe it'll catch up. What else do I want to say? I feel like I want to say some stuff. Why can't the chat work? Why can't things work? That's my question. So a quick iPad Nano screen update. I've been drawing on it nonstop because that's what I do for a living. No scratches. It's great. So much easier to clean fingerprints off than the other one. Still extremely happy with it. No issues. Let me check in with the chat since I'm already taking a long time to get started, and I don't know. It's a live stream. I used to try to like make the live streams more watchable after the fact, but it's too hard. There's too many issues. This is for you guys. This is not for long-term views. This is to hang out. This is a hangout session. Guess I'm going to turn off the chat thing because stupid doesn't work. Let me just switch this over to multi-stream, see what that says. Stream chat. No? Okay. Let's see. Skippy McHaggis, channel moderator, up in the house. Good morning to you. Good morning, Diana Lisa, another channel moderator. So happy to see you all here. Kohiko, how's it going? Jeffrey Wright. Andrew JD, good morning. Star Walker, Aaron Pallinson, so many amazing channel members. Speaking of channel members, let's do a shout out. Do I have? Oh, I forgot to put that graphic in my stream deck. I think I can do it anyway. I can do it here. I can do it here. No false alarm. My channel members are wonderful people, and all of my super supporters and above get their name illustrated and included in all of the videos that I make while they're active members. To clarify, it's my super supporters and above tier. I wish I could do it for all of the channel members, but I don't have the bandwidth for it. It's just it's a lot. It'd be a lot. With the super supporters and above, you definitely have earned it with your amazing support. This is the current lineup. They are all the best. Actually made it now so that I think it'll work. Your names are going to rotate in the drawing zone. So we'll see if that works. This stupid alert. We got 17. No, we don't have 17. We have 96 at the moment, which is, we're doing pretty good. All right. This is chaos. Star Walker, did I say hi to you? Good morning. Mona P. Trent, how's it going? Tress Crawford. Happy Friday. Tazart. Ricky Burgess, how's it going? Diana, you finally made it to a live stream. Thank you. Did I say her name? Sylvie. You said you love that there's a horizontal and a vertical at the same time. Yeah, so you know, YouTube wants to push vertical streaming, so we gotta cater to that for the discoverability, if you will. The good Chad, the other channel moderator, he's a good Chad. You just wanted to pop in and say, even though we can only stay for 5 minutes. Oh, so he's a channel moderator who is running away from his duties as a channel moderator. Just kidding. He's that's perfectly acceptable. He's doing me a favor being a moderator, and we got 2 other very capable ones. Clem Houseart, how's it going? Will, it's the new math. I don't know what you're talking about, but thank you. It's probably something crazy that I said a minute ago. Sanyami, how's it going? Oh wait, I'm being told that the viewers thing might be accurate on the screen for you, and I'm complaining. Maybe it's just my preview over here is wrong. Not design. You said, how about a grunge blob tear pants sticker? That would be a funny sticker. When would you use that one? Glockster, how's it going? Okay. Jenna Hess, also a channel moderator with the little wrench icon. How's it going, Jenna? All right. Your Star, you said your hat and shirt match the LOL digital sticker. Oh yeah, that's true. Let's do that again. Let's see. Where is it? Let's look at it. They do. Look at that. That's so cool. Okay. Let's try this chat. So I would really love your chats to be on the screen. I see. So my alert, I'm being told by Diana Lisa that the stat is maybe pulling the wrong one. Okay, so who knows? Let me just see if I can. Wait, see, live chat. I'm gonna leave this up for a second and hope that maybe the chat starts chatting so that you guys can. Let's see. Always show messages. Oh, wait, no, that's a preview. Hide chat. No, we don't want to hide chat, and we don't want a chat delay. And we want this just to work. So let's do that. Close. Hey! Chatting in the vertical. Oh, so it's pulling in the vertical? I don't know what it's doing. I'll leave it up there for a little while. Shout out to everyone for dealing with me right now. Let's see. I also have my vertical. Did I turn that on? Nope. Whoops. Sorry. I set up my vertical camera too in case we wanted to see that. Let me just enable that. You guys ever have I ever been good at this yet? Because whoo, boy howdy, I'm a mess sometimes. Overhead. Sorry for yelling. I got excited. Okay, let's see. Overhead. Oh, it's upside down. That's not helpful. Look at my face. Is this the most ADHD you guys have seen me? We're gonna fix it on the fly. Transform. Flip 180 degrees counterclockwise. Not 180. What am I doing? Are we doing this? 180. Yeah, okay, cool. Let me just You guys have a lot of patience dealing with me right now. I don't know if we're even going to use this one, but we might. Who knows? All right, let's go back to the regular one. Draw with chat. Yeah, I'm very professional, Diana Lisa. Thank you. Hi, Shane. Is that Shane that I know? That's a weird question. Okay. So, I did some sketches of some rough ideas last night when I was trying to think of what I would do. Well, what do you think? Should I do any of these? I started playing with this cool one using the liquify and not redrawing it, which was kind of fun. Maybe, well, because I'm being so crazy right now, maybe we'll do this crazy one. Let's do that. I'm gonna put on my glove, even though there'll probably be comments being like, you can't touch the nanos with a glove. You're gonna ruin the nanos. There's a lot of concern about the nano texture being very delicate. Listen, I don't think it's very delicate. Apple wouldn't be like, hey, can you draw all over this? And then it's not gonna get destroyed. pro tip, if you draw at a desk, getting one of these like rubber thingies, wrist rests, is really nice for your elbow when it's resting on the desk. Hi. This is crazy. Okay, so I'm gonna make a new document for this because when I do them all in the same document, if I'm animating them, it could become a nightmare if we have different frame rates because they won't line up. So we'll do a different document for each of our animations. Because if we do one that has like say 3 frames and then one that has 5, it's gonna try to sync them up and it can't because the math doesn't work. So let's paste our sketch in here. I didn't want the whole thing. I thought I made the selection. Okay, select, copy selection. I probably copied layer. Okay, so I think like this loosely as a composition is pretty good. So, you know, maybe we can do something fun with the individual letters. Like maybe we can put some, I don't know, textures or patterns in there. That might be fun. Maybe we'll do that. So, excuse me, you may have heard me mention this in the past, but I'm working on a custom, not really custom, I'm working on a collection of different brushes and textures, like paper textures and brush texture brushes with Retro Splico. I'm like curating out of all of the stuff. They have a huge archive of stuff and it can be overwhelming. And I've tried out like everything and I use very specific things and there's a lot of cool stuff on there, but it's stuff that I don't use. So, you know, but it, you know, you got to like try everything to find out what works. So I've curated a collection of stuff that I like and use on a regular basis, which will be available as a special Chris Piascik set that will, I think the release date is June 26th, but I will keep you updated. But it's going to be great. There's going to be everything in there. It's going to include a bunch of random brushes, but it will include the full Rezo set because that's one that I actually use the full set of. But there's no other full set of brushes that I use all of. And because I'll be curating exactly the ones that I like for example, the liner set, like this brush that I'm using right now is the classic inker. And I only use one other brush from that whole set. So, you know, if you were trying to use the brushes that I use, you'd have to buy the whole set just to get this classic inker. But I'm making that so it's not the case. So I'm currently drawing these letters on different layers because I don't know, because I don't have a plan yet, and this is going to give me some flexibility. So we'll see. I'm just sort of winging it right now. Let's see. Javier Cobb Bisenio. I don't know if I said that right. How's it going? Channel member. Nice to see you in the chat. I'll just say for no reason. Why don't I just look at the chat to see what I'm saying? Shane, you're a new Shane. Nice to meet you, new Shane. I should have come up with a game plan for this instead of just like randomly drawing the letters on different layers. But, you know, sometimes you don't know what you want to do. And when you do things on separate layers, it gives you a maximum flexibility. So we're going to do that. Maybe I'll try something that I've never done before. Maybe I'll use some textures from this curated collection because I have most of it all saved here. Maybe we can try some of those out and see what happens, and this will allow us to do that easily. Okay. Aaron, thank you for saying you look forward to that. Hey, Skippy, thanks for saying to smash those likes. I wonder why. Oh, is it just showing the vertical stream? Sorry, I just wish that the chat would work. The only thing, do you guys see different things in the chat? All I see in the chat on the screen is Mick saying hello and Skippy telling people to smash the like, which I support that wholeheartedly. Okay, so I'm going to put these in the other order. Okay, so let's see. Let's make it, I'm gonna make the C white, and I'm going to I'm gonna make a clipping mask to add some texture to it. So I'm gonna make a new layer on top of it and clip it to that layer, and then just grab this red color, and let's try this vertical waves brush, which is, it's a cool look to it. Well, that's pretty neat and crazy. I think it's I think it could benefit from some color below. So I'm gonna make like a lighter pink and put that in the C, which is kind of fun. So let's take this R. Maybe we'll make this. I have no idea what I'm doing here. I'm just sort of winging this. So you guys are on this journey with me. Let's do a halftone with this one. Oh, that's a checkered one. I think I want to make it, this one's like a grittier. It's like a checkerboard that you can shade with because it's got like, when you press light, you can get like a lighter version of it, which I like. There's a bunch of like these texture brushes where they have this as a brush on its own, but then they have the shader one. And I always just use the shader one because if you don't want it to be shading, you could just press hard the whole time. But I like having that flexibility. I don't like this color that I picked here, so I'm gonna change this blue a little bit, make it a little bit more green. I like that better. And then let's I'm just gonna clear that and do it over again with like a darker one. Okay, let's see. I don't know if this is going to be a good idea, but we're going to see. Hey, Dustin, everything's been done. I appreciate the support, and if you're into bikes, check out Dustin's channel because it is fantastic. He's also, I would say, equally as crazy as me. Let's see, I'm going to use that red again, and let's, I don't know, let's do another clipping mask. I don't know how we're going to animate this, but we'll see what happens. I'll come up with something, hopefully. So there's this set of like these based on old transfer things, like it's a very analog technique that you would use to like transfer tones onto for illustrations, like back from, the olden days. But they recreated all these like textures to use, and they're really, really fun and great to use. Okay, I don't want to use too many colors because we're doing an animation, so I'm going to go back to the pink for the base on this one. And then maybe we'll do the darker red as like a texture on it. There is, let's just do like a gritty texture on this one. So there's so many different gritty textures that Retro Supplyco has, but like some of them just work better for me and I like them better. So those are the ones I've sort of picked out and curated. And then let's do the blue for the Y. And at some point, I'm going to figure out what I want to do to animate this. Actually, let's use the darker one as the base. And then we'll do some lighter blue texture on it. Let's use this white noise shader. I like this one. I'm also going to be renaming the brushes that I like so that they make more sense to me and maybe to you. I like this one because it sort of looks like one of those journals that you could write. So, but you can see I press harder, it'll fill in more. And if I press lighter, it goes in like that. So I think it's a really nice, effective brush for making, you know, a good texture. What am I talking about here? I also, now that I'm seeing this, I think the Z is a little too chonky. So I'm going to go back to my classic inker and then use it as an eraser to just kind of tighten it up a wee bit. Just give it a little more zag instead of what am I talking about? Okay. So we got some crazy lettering. Feels kind of crazy. I don't know. What do you guys think? No signal conspiracies. How would you go about animating a time-lapse sketch, like showing the progression or animation of lines appearing? Well, I might just use the time-lapse feature, but if I was trying to like emulate the drawing experience, what I would do is like just it's pretty semi-tedious of a process. I mean, not necessarily, but let's say you drew like the word cool and you wanted to like animate that on, you could start a timeline thing and then just make a new frame. Actually, you know what you could do? You could make this even easier. You could duplicate it a bunch of times. I think this isn't, actually I lied. Let's go back. You could duplicate it a bunch of ways and erase a little bit at a time, but what I prefer to do is to just like start here and then like a new one. And then, just keep going. And then, you start to get that situation. Okay, so we got this, and now we need a little speech bubble for the this is crazy. So let's draw that. Okay, so let's put a background color for our document so that we can make it white, make the bubble white and see what's happening. Because usually this kind of thing is going to overlay on top of something a little bit darker, at least in my experience. The lighter colors tend to work better on top. So, okay, I'm going to make a new layer to do. This is because who knows if I'll fit it right. I'll make some wiggly letters because why not? Because it's crazy. This is all right. think that's pretty okay, but what I want to do is a little bit smaller and a little bit wider. Okay, so I'm going to animate that, but we can do that separately. So now what we should do is I think we can keep the texture in the clipping mask. Okay, so let's just start with this C. And what I'm going to do is just draw it 3 times. So click on the timeline thing over here, and then I'll hit plus, and then I'm just going to trace it over relatively close. That's good, and then we'll do it once more. Like that, and let's see how that works. Okay, so that's kind of cool, but we want the texture to change as well. So, you know, I have an idea. I have such a good idea, I think. So I'm going to grab this texture here that we used, and I'm just going to make it bigger like this, and then we're going to duplicate it 3 times. So I'm going to go over to the first one, and I'm just going to choose frame to transform that one, and I'm going to just move it up like that. And then on the second one, I'm going to move it a little bit lower. And then on this one, I'm going to move it down like that. And then I'll turn it back to a clipping mask, and let's see what that does. Look at that. That's super crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Is the special so yeah, apparently the chat is showing the vertical one, which is not ideal because the main one is the horizontal, which is weird because the horizontal one is the one showing up in the I don't know. Goose are gone. I can read this. Thanks for giving me haggis. Yeah, I don't know. Chat is hard. I'm sorry. High from the vertical. So yeah, I don't know why it's showing up there, but well, I think I'm going to not make it a thing. So let's just I'm sorry. One of these days we'll get the chat in the screen, but actually in the replay the chat is there anyway. So, you know. And if you want to be on the screen, you could be a new subscriber if you're not a subscriber, or you could, you know, you could super chat. You get the super chat name there. Last super chat was from Here for it. Wow, missed that. Okay, anyway, so that's crazy. Let's do the same thing with the R. I'm currently working on a video, which is something that I didn't plan on doing, but I get asked about it so much that I decided to do it. I in my video, I have a video that's like why I stopped using Procreate, which talks about the Fresco motion tools that I really like. And there's so many comments in that video being like, apparently you've never heard of Procreate Dreams, or they're just like, hey, well, what about Procreate Dreams? And like Procreate Dreams is great, but like I didn't compare it to that because Procreate Dreams is full-on animation software. Fresco is not animation software. They're very different things. But because so many people have asked me, I'm going to turn off that C so I can see what I'm doing. Anyway, I've decided to make a video talking about it even though they're very different, because I still, even if like I have to do something more complicated, I still prefer Fresco for the motion tools because it's so much faster and more efficient for me for the stuff that I do. I don't do like animated shorts. Like if I was making an animated video, it would be a different story because Fresco animation isn't meant for that. It's meant for continuous looping movement, whereas Fresco is for, I mean, Dreams is for making a cartoon or something like that. So, anyway, the reason why I mentioned that is because like this workflow is not something you could do in Dreams anywhere near as easily as this. Like the fact that I'm like doing these clipping masks and like adjusting texture and just doing it one layer at a time, that's kind of crazy. Okay, so I'm gonna unclip this so I can see what I'm doing here, and then I'm gonna make a new one. I think instead of doing what I did before, because it's so simple, instead of moving it, I'm just gonna draw the texture quickly a little bit. So this was the checkers shader. So we just get this darker one, and then I'll just sort of do that, and we'll see what this does because it's a little bit different. We might actually, because of how the texture goes in the same spot each time, I think we do want to move them so that it has that same effect as the first one. So what I'll do is just offset them a little bit and then come to the first one and then do that. And then we can turn it to a clipping mask again. Diana Lisa, glad that you like the scrolling names. Sila, thank you so much. Glad that you like my style in my videos. Okay, so that's kind of crazy, but we're going for crazy. Let's see what it looks like with the C back on. I mean, we're doing crazy, so may as well. All right, let's go to the A. I'm going to turn off the R so I can see what I'm doing, and let's try to do this one quickly. I'll be more, I'll show you what happens if you, whoops. If you don't trace it like so accurately, so you can see what I mean by sometimes it can be jarring, but we'll see if we can make it work. So because it's crazy, I'm pushing the boundaries here. So I'm making this one go up quite a bit bigger. Maybe we'll do a middle one and then see if that has a cool effect where it like looks like it's growing and shrinking. So I'm drawing in between the two. That's a good trick for if something is looking too jarring, but you want that extra movement, is to just, instead of doing the frame after, drag it in between and then just find a middle ground between. That's a good way too if like, you know, the movement is too dramatic and you just want to smooth it down or slow it down. If you want it to happen slower, like if you're doing someone like walking slow and you do it, but the sequence is happening too fast, you could just put in extra frames in between and then just make a position in between the two, and that'll just slow it all down. So let's, yeah, I think that is a fun effect. I'm not, you know, being too picky on these. Okay, so for this one, what I'm gonna do is just make the texture bigger like we did on the first one. This one was the Ross board. Like Ross from Friends, I'm assuming. Just kidding, that's not what it is. Okay, so let's duplicate it. Actually, you know what we should do? Let's be more efficient. Let's, before we duplicate it, let's move this first one up like this, and then duplicate it, and then move it down, and then duplicate it, and move it down further. Okay, and then we clip it again, turn our R back on. It's getting crazy! Mariana, you said, why can't you see the video? I don't know. Why not? Aaron, do you find any value in the new squeeze input on the Apple Pencil Pro? So I'm super excited about the squeeze feature. It's one of the things I'm most excited about. However, it hasn't been integrated into the current version of Fresco, but I've been told it's coming in June, which is now. So I'm hoping any day now. The reason why I think it's going to be so helpful in Fresco specifically is because the squeeze function is going to allow you to pull up your brush menu and like all kinds of things. So you don't have to go over to the tools. All you have to do is squeeze and they'll just be right there, ready to go. And it'll just make everything so much more efficient, like not having to stop what I'm doing and go over to the menu. The menu will just come to me wherever I am. You'll be able to undo with it. You'll be able to change brush size. You'll be able to change brushes. I think color. I think there's like a ton of things that you'll be able to do, which is going to be very good. So yeah, June, and well, I guess today's the 31st, so it's not June, but I don't know. I don't know what their release schedule is like. Okay, let's see. Okay, we got that, and now let's do a little bit of texture on these. So this was just the was it the scuffing? I don't know. It doesn't matter. They're all gritty textures right now, so we can change it up here. I'm gonna turn off the onion skin, so because we're doing something subtle here. Oh, this is crazy. All right. I'm sorry if this one is tedious. I'm gonna do something more simple for the next one. We'll turn onion skins back on. Grab the darker blue. Grab the classic anchor, and then maybe we'll do the extendo thing on this one where it gets longer. So it's not just one letter that does it. And then I'll do the trick where I put it in between again. So you can see here, that's the current one and that's the other one. So I'm just gonna do one that's in between. Okay, unclip the texture, and this one is the white noise one, which I'm gonna name something different for my brush collection. Where is it? One of the things I'm most excited about, even just for my own use, is the fact that I'm gonna organize all like my favorite stuff so that it's so much easier for me to use. And in turn you, but you know, it's being selfish. Okay, so let's start this. Let's start this one low, like this, and then duplicate, move it up, and then duplicate it again. Move that up, like that, and then it's crazy. We got all the letters here. Skippy said, I know you're all in on Apple, but some of us PC people have had crashing issues with Fresco. Is that something your insider stuff has heard? So I don't know anything about the Windows thing, and I think it's a very like separate team because like Fresco was designed, you know, from the ground up for the iPad, and it was adapted for Windows. So most of like the development team is like making it for the iPad, and then it's like, as far as I know, at least this used to be the case, is like adapting it to work on Windows. So I think, the iPad version gets sorted out and then they adapt each thing for the Windows side, and I think it doesn't have the same like robust beta testing and all that stuff. Maybe I'm guessing, this is what I'm assuming, but I don't know anything about that, unfortunately. Okay, so let's just quickly do this. This is bubble. I'm gonna do the lettering first, and I'm just gonna do it quickly. But let me switch to Classic Inker. So I want this to like look wiggly, so I'm just gonna quickly trace over it, wiggling, trying to wiggle the opposite way. So it looks like it's like, this is crazy. And then we'll do once more. All right, let's see. Sorry, that's a little flashy because I didn't do the bubble yet, but now we can quickly put this bubble in. Did I accidentally undo that? Yeah. I forgot to cross my R. Cross my R and hope to die. Okay. What do we got? Let's see. This is crazy. So there's one area that I don't love, and it's like that top of the bubble at the T. It just looks like it's not natural there. So that's an easy thing to fix. So when you have something like that and you look at your onion tunes, you'll see that big transition between the two. So what I'll do is just make them closer together like that. And then over here, now if we hit play, it's got a nice vibration to it, but it's not wild and crazy. So to do this for Giphy, I would just turn off the backgrounds and then go to publish and export, and then choose motion, GIF. That was not what we wanted to do. Transparent background. What happened? Did we accidentally turn off our bubble? Yep. When did I do that? Was anyone paying attention to me? Publish and export. Motion. Transparent background. Generate frames. So it's only showing us that one loop because it's a that's how many frames there are. But when it's a GIF, it'll loop. So I'm gonna open up my images and hope that there's nothing wild in here. So there we go. And if you tab it, you'll see it's transparent. So we could just upload this on Giphy, and we could use it on our stories. Pretty cool. Let's make another one. Let's do an easier one this time. Let's see. Did I miss anything? Sorry that I was giving you motion sickness noodles. I think I want to do something with this cute one. I don't know necessarily what. Maybe we could use something with the liquify. So I'm gonna copy this and then make a new document. I'm doing these at 2100 square because that's way bigger than they will be used online, but I find anything smaller than 2000 pixels, I don't have enough brush control, so that's the situation. You definitely don't want to go huge when you're doing animation, especially if you're using like an older iPad or an older machine or anything. Like this new iPad can handle anything, but it still can get crazy. I've had people messaging me about having struggles with like animation exports, and then they're telling me that their file is like 6,000 pixels, which is just way bigger than it needs to be for something that's only screen based. Like you don't need to be working at print resolution for something that can't be printed because you can't print a video. Uh, Thanks, Larry Brown. Glad that you're learning stuff in my videos. Okay, so I'm just going to try to draw this really bubbly and cute. So instead of the gritty brush, I'm going to use this cleaner brush, this smooth liner pen that I like. I'm going to make sure my smoothing is all the way up. And I'm going to draw this in like a dark pink line color and then use like a lighter pink. I don't know, not pink, maybe more like a, we can always change it after the fact. I don't know what we're going to do yet. So I want this to be cute, but also kind of weird. Like, I like that it kind of will look like a butt. So I think we're going to lean into that. Lean into that butt. Okay. I kind of want to like make this U a little bit wider because it's got a face in it. Then that can be a little bit shorter. The only situation here is making sure the T can read like a T. So I already running out of space, so I'm going to move this over a little bit. And let's see how little T we can show and have it still read like a T. So I'm thinking like that, and then just kind of have that line. We could still have it be together. And then I think maybe I'll use like a little bit of shading to emphasize that there's a crossbar on the top. Just some cute, chonky letters. All right, we can delete that. I'm gonna merge that down and then make a new layer. And we can maybe do some like rosy cheeks. I just keep making new layers because I don't know exactly what I'm going to draw, so it makes it a little bit easier. And then let's I can't tell if I just want to do like some like simple eyes like this. I don't know. This is not really my style, but I mean, I guess maybe it is. Let's see what it looks like with some wild eyes like I would draw normally. I think we're going to go with this. Feels more me than maybe looking up. I think that's a cute thing. This is ridiculous. How are we gonna animate this? Okay, so let's I'm just gonna duplicate this layer instead of bothering with a reference layer, just because I'm gonna be stacking it anyway. Okay, so that's too dark. but I think that makes me want to change this color to that, and like that, and then color in these cute little stupid eyes, and we'll do a little, whoops, highlight situation. Tons of highlights, just so adorbs. Let's see. Steve, glad my Fresco information has been helpful. I don't know how I accidentally became the Fresco king of the world. I don't know. Hey, Kevin, how's it going? Good. It's good and cute, almost like bubblegum. Oh, yeah, it's just kind of like bubblegum. Okay, I'm going to do some shading. Maybe we'll try it with a texture or something. Let's see. That's too big. That's a little too aggressive. Let's bring the opacity down. Okay. I think we can do something with this. So using that to sort of exaggerate the T part. And then let's pull that over. I think I'm going to go in and like erase some of this to get some sharper edges, because this brush is a little less of like a tip to it, but it has a good texture for what I want here. So now that I've drawn that in there, what I can do is switch back to like the classic anchor and then use this as an eraser to just sort of kind of tighten those corners up a little bit and then get any of this overlap. I don't want it to be too perfect, but just a little bit. Okay, and then maybe we'll do little highlights. Make it extra bulbous. I really don't know what we're gonna do to animate this. I think what I'm gonna do is just gonna flatten this, merge this down. I'm gonna commit here. I think we'll maybe make the eyes twinkle. So open up the timeline, and I'm just gonna duplicate this, and then I'm gonna come in here and fill those in, and then duplicate it once more. And then here, what I'll do is just kind of make these maybe slightly bigger. And then on this one, maybe they're a little bit smaller. Let's see what that looks like. Maybe a little dramatic. So what we could do is just bring this one a little bit closer to the others, so it's not such a jump. We just want a subtle little twinkle. I think that is great. Like that. We could also try to do a little bit of a increase in the smile by using the liquify, but I think maybe we want more than 3 frames. So what I'm going to do is duplicate this sequence. So duplicate the first one. This is one thing that's a little bit tedious in Fresco. And then third frame. So now we've just got that sequence looping. So now I have a little bit more control over how many things I want to modify. So I'm going to go to the third frame here, and I'm going to go to the frame and then go to liquefy and then go to warp, I think. How big is this? That's too big. Let's make this smaller. And I'm just going to kind of push the smile up a little bit. And then on this one, we'll do it a little bit more. And then we can maybe keep it there on this one. And then on this last one, maybe we'll just have it come down a little bit. Let's see what that looks like. I think that is pretty funny. I just want the cheeks to move with that. So what we can do is just like, so there's 6 frames. So what I can do is just duplicate this 6 times. And then we can just kind of move them accordingly to just stay with the cheeks. Go up a little bit. There you go. There we go. That's cute. I think that's probably enough. I don't think we need to animate the rest of the letters. I think having it just be the face is kind of fun. Yeah, that's a little cute one. All right, let's do another one. What any things that you feel like you want to say in a sticker form in like your Instagram stories or wherever? Let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll make it. Maybe I'll make it right now. Maybe we need a sad one. Let's see. Let me look back at my... In the meantime, you want a sneak peek of the artwork for my brush pack? Or not my brush pack. Oh, that's not the final one. My curated set. This is like as the main artwork. We got the Chris Piascik pack, Retro Supply Co. We're going to have color palettes. We're going to have tutorials, which is like a tutorial, but a fart. Brushes, textures, paper, good stuff. Wow, it's okay. Fresco and Photoshop, because Fresco uses Photoshop brushes, so they'll work in Photoshop too. Obviously, because Fresco files are Photoshop files. Fun fact. But that's that. Okay. Oh, the what? Wanted to do like a wiggly WTF one or the WoW one. Let's see. Is there any comments? I did it. Oh, that's a good one, Andra. I did it, or that's dope. Locked in. Those are all good ones. I'm gonna write them down. Obviously, I don't have time to do all of them now, but they may come in the near future because I like doing these and they're fun to do. So let's let me just make some notes. We got locked in. We got I did it. Thank you so much, everyone, for the positive feedback on the artwork for the brush pack or textures thing. Dang, I like dang. That's a good one. Nope, nope is a one that I like a lot. That was one that I wanted to do. Free Palestine. I support you, and I will write it down here. We got truth. That's a good one. Hi. That's funny. Trump fart. That's funny. Watch this. I'm gonna really fast draw a fart coming out of a butt, and we're gonna give it Trump hair and a butthole mouth, squinty eyes. Look at that. How fast did I draw of Trump fart? Let's just zoom in on that magical artwork. Fire. That's a good one too. All right. So which one am I gonna do? I think I said I was going to do. Oh, yeet. That's a funny one. Fastest fart Trump in the West. I've had some practice. Nice one, bro, but disgusted. I like that. Okay. The star said, if you do dang and nope, you'll get them tattooed on me. That is funny. I'm not gonna hold you to that, but I think I'm gonna do both dang and nope because they can be quick ones and they're fun and things that I would like to use on a regular basis. So, dang. Let's think of what that's gonna look like. There's different ways that we could do it. Could be like a. That's not my brush. What was that? Let's go to this one. Could be like a fancy kind of script. Dang. Dang. Or it could be like a. Dang. Just like wide and bold. Running out of space here. Oh, maybe we could do it like a becomes like 3D or something. Like it bounces up and down, like 3D-ish. Let's turn that down and see if we can make this look a little bit better. So I'm thinking we could do something simple and blocky like this and then have it be 3D-ish. Like this. I like that. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so let's make this a wee bigger. Let's bring that down and let's make it kind of rough. So bring the smoothing down and I'm gonna just kind of do a wiggly line like that. And we'll have it like start 2D and then kind of pop up. So I'm gonna do like a 3-frame sequence to get the line boil, which is the wiggliness of the letters themselves. Actually, I'm not gonna fill those in because we're not gonna want it filled in for the 2D one. So let's turn off our sketch and just use this one so it doesn't get confusing. And then I'll just quickly trace it as fast as I can. I'm sorry that I can't go into hyper speed for the videos. So Tuesday will finally be the release of a video that I was working on for a while. Not necessarily the video, but the artwork. So I was doing those Garbage Pail Kid parodies with X-Men, and I did like 6 different ones. And that's what the video is going to be. And, you know, I'm excited about it because I liked doing them and I think it's fun. But to be honest, I'm a little bit terrified because all of my other videos of that style where I do like these like mashup things where, you know, my where I drew the X-Men as like SpongeBob characters and then the Ren and Stimpy one, those videos performed like just garbage. Like everyone, like I put it on YouTube and YouTube was just like, no, nobody cares about this. Nobody wants to see your stupid video. So we'll see if this one. I'm curious though because when I posted some of these Garbage Pail Kid X-Men mashups on like Instagram, they were like getting a lot of traction. Like people are really into them, and like people have been asking about the video. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, so I really like doing this the line boil with this sort of jittery letters because it gets that really kind of fun look. So yeah. What we're gonna do now is I'm gonna fill them in first because that's gonna save me some time afterwards. So I think yellow is the right thing for this. Dang. And let's turn off the onion skin. I think I also want it to have just a little bit of texture, not a lot of texture, just a little grit, a little dirt, a little dirtiness in there. So I'm gonna take this waxy roller. I'm also gonna set this lock transparency. That one's too much. That's too big. Let's. So I figured I'll just do it a little bit like this. Well, apparently it didn't, it only locked transparency to the first frame, but we can fix that quickly so I don't have some overspray stuff because that won't be ideal for the transparent GIF. So what I'll do is just grab the magic wand here and then erase and deselect and then go here and do the same thing. Okay. Oh. Sneaky. Erase. How come I didn't select it? Oh. Obviously that's not going to work because we it's not going to it's already there. Such a dummy. Okay, I think it's fine. All right, let's play. All right, I think that's pretty cool. There's just this one spot right there, which is a little too aggressive. So what I'm going to do is find that one. Yeah. And I'm going to grab yellow here, come back to my brush, and I'm just going to tone it down. a wee bit. And let's just make sure there's nowhere else. This spot, a little aggressive. Okay, I think that's fine. So let's duplicate this sequence. Duplicate. And then the third one. And then just make sure that it is correct. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is come over to this one. I'm just choosing it at random. And actually, we're gonna take all of this. So transform all frames, and we're gonna lower this to the center. So now all of them start there. And what I'm gonna do is turn on my sketch again. Actually, we can just leave it like that. And I'm going to come over to, we'll choose 4. And now when I go to transform, I'm going to say just the frame. And what I'm going to do is move this up there like that. And now I'm going to draw in the 3D. What is happening? Is something selected? Oh, I forgot we did the block transparency. Okay, so let's just quickly put this in here. That and that. And a little extra there. And then can go ahead and fill this in. Okay, so let's turn off the sketch layer. So what I'm going to do now is go to the one before that, turn onion skins back on. Nostalgia Unboxed. You said it's all about the good thumbnails. Listen, I get it, but like, I don't know. I feel like I make good thumbnails. Or maybe not YouTube good, I guess. Okay, so on this one, I'm going to move it up like in between the two. And I'm going to change my frame so I only see one. I'm also going to make a temporary blank frame in between. And the only reason I'm doing this is because I just want to see the next frame. I don't want to see the one before that because it's getting a little confusing. So here, what I'm going to do is just draw the 3D thing just to like the starting point. That. And now can fill that in. Now we can delete that extra frame. So that's looking kind of cool, but what I think will look even better is if we exaggerate that and have it come back. So like overshoot, that's a good way to make movement look more natural. So on this frame, I'm going to go to frame to transform it. I'm actually going to make this one a little bit bigger, like that, and I'm going to move it up even higher. And now I will just draw to that bottom part. See what I mean about it getting a little confusing when you can see the other frame in there, but I'm muscling through it to save time here. Whoops. Okay, so what we want to do though is move that in between. So we want it to go further and then come back. But I don't want it to immediately come back. I want it to stay big for a second. So on this one, I'm just going to put it to the regular 3D spot and then just trace it. And then this should look pretty neat. At least I'm hoping. I think it will. It's going to look pretty neat. Okay. I think there's going to be one more thing that we want to do to make it cooler. And that is, so it comes out, it gets big, and then instead of going right to the normal position, we should do one where it is shorter again. Actually, we could probably just use this. So if we duplicate that frame and put it after the highest point, it'll give it like a rubbery feel, I think. Let's see. Pretty neat. I think it's just all happening a little too fast, which just means we need more of like the 3D part. So the good thing is we've already done 2 of them. So these are the last 2 in the sequence. So we just need to duplicate the first frame, and then we could actually make that happen a little bit longer. So it looks a little less chaotic. So we'll just put that there and then turn off the transparency thing. So the reason I can't just duplicate the other frames is because all the frames are redrawn, and if you duplicate the same frame, it won't have that line boil from the difference in drawing. So it'll just look like it's like skipping or something, because everything is constantly moving, but if you duplicate the same frame, it won't be moving, if that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is just duplicate these last 3 frame sequence so it stays up a little bit longer. And then we'll take that Skippy little frame. Why am I calling it Skippy? This one. And we'll put that at the end. The reason we're going to do that is so that it transitions a little bit smoother back. So see, it's got that little bounce when it comes up. I think that's kind of fun. Dang. I notice that there's this one little white spot that we missed on some of them, but let's see. We could just fix that real quick. So what I would do for that issue is just turn off the onion skins and then just like quickly patch that in on the ones that need it so we don't get that weird white spot. All right, let's see now. Dang. I think the white counters looks a little bit odd. How many times do I have to unlock the transparency? I think it's gonna just look cleaner with those filled in. I think we should do the same thing for the G, actually. It's a little weird, I think, but I don't know, maybe if we do it to like all the letters so we can just see that they have a little bit of shape to them. Yeah. Okay, so let's onion skin. I just want to quickly add this in so that it works right. And as you can see, I'm going pretty rough. Like, you don't have to be perfect when you're doing this kind of thing because you're only seeing it for like a split piece of a second. All right, delete. Yeah, that's better. Now we don't have that weird flashing. I am using Streamlabs to stream. How do I stream from iPad? So yeah, with Streamlabs, I have my iPad plugged into my MacBook Pro via USB-C, and I just have my iPad as a media source. Cool. That was fun. Yeah, I can see the Schoolhouse Rock thing. I think especially with the yellow. One cool thing too is if you did all this and you were like, oh man, the yellow is too Schoolhouse Rock. I wish it wasn't yellow. What you could do is do like an adjustment layer with hue saturation, and that's not going to affect the stuff that's not on the art. But even if there was other stuff, if you had like a background that you wanted in there, you could just make it a clipping mask to that animation layer, and then you could just sort of choose a different color here. Like maybe you wanted dang to be this like pink color, and then it's just quickly fixed. And then you could be like, I think I like that, but do I like it better? And then you could just like turn it off and be like, that's cool. And you go like that. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. I was gonna do nope. Yeah, I guess maybe I'll do it. Looking at the thing, it says there's 123 viewers. I'm looking over at my screen and it says 52. Rude. Okay. Let's do nope. Create new. And I got to remember to put these on Giphy right away so you could check them out. So what am I going to do for nope? I got to do something simple because I don't have all much longer. I got to get some other work done. But I said I was going to do nope, so I'm going to do nope. Let's see. Sorry, I was trying to read chats. Yeah, I do have affiliate links below to Retro Supply Co. But if you don't want to wait a couple weeks for my special pack, or if you just want to buy something simple, maybe we could do like a simple script. I like the idea of it being nope, but also looking a little fancy. Also kind of like I don't know what dang and nope getting periods. They just feel like they need punctuation. Let's see. Maybe we can make this because like a script on its own I think won't be great for a sticker, but maybe we can put like a border around it for readability, or maybe we can make it a little thicker. Let's see. Let's do like I feel like I don't want it to go too thick because I feel like too thick is not the right vibe for saying nope. I think I like that. I think I'm going to do this one clean, but I'm also going to do it with vector so that I can get really tight connections maybe. So I'm going to use my vector presets, which are in my shop if you're interested. I'm going to use the crispy liner for this one as opposed to my gritty brushes. I have the gritty vector, which is for like a little bit more grit texture, if you will. So this one is just a very clean and smooth liner brush. And I like it for that. It has like a subtle taper, so I can like taper out the ends, but it's not like dramatic. So because I'm the reason I'm doing this in vectored, even though it's like has no need to be vector, I'm choosing vector because of the vector trimming, because it'll help me get super tight connections on these letters. But if I could do that with pixel brushes, I would just do that because vector is very much not needed for this. Oh, so I did that wrong. So because it's script, you want it to be a little bit thicker on the downstroke, a little bit thinner on the upstroke. And because I was upside down, I wasn't paying attention to that. But sometimes, oftentimes, when I'm doing longer lines and I want them to be smooth, I will rotate my canvas to just get the optimal position for like pulling or pushing a curve. Okay, so just to do the little period. And now with the modifier, we can just double tap that. Actually, again, the modifier is with the blue on the outside circle, and then we can just sort of cross out what we don't want. Oops. I think I want this to be coming over the top, I think. So I'm going to draw over those lines because I don't think because I drew that in one continuous line, the vector trimming isn't going to be ideal. I'm also trying to not be too particular because these are intended to be little, GIF things. Also, whoops, apparently I didn't draw that all the way through either. I forgot that this is going to be animated, so I don't know what I'm going to do for this. Apparently, I did that one wrong, but we're just going to draw it for extra practice. Let's see, is this one going to work? There we go, that worked. Okay, like that. I think actually I don't want that separation. I want to do like a subtle connection there. So what I mean by that is I want it to like just sort of just hint at the overlap. I don't know. I think it looks kind of cool like that. All right, let's delete that and maybe we can just do it with the liquify. We'll see. So I'm just going to draw a border around this to help with it working well as a sticker. The longer I go without looking up at the chat, I get like anxious because I'm like, oh no, maybe something's happening and I need to respond to it. but I'm also like trying to be efficient with this. Let's see. Anything good happening? Thank you, Vortex, for saying that my script looks good. It's lots of practice. Okay, so I'm thinking we're just gonna fill that in like that. And then a little bit of cleanup needed here because I did something weird. That P line. The P line looking a little thin. I should have just done this in pixel brushes because I'm defeating the point of the the vector trimming by redrawing all this stuff. Okay, so we got nope. This period needs to be bigger. Well, let's make it a color. I think nope is gonna be red. Pinkish red. Like that. And then maybe I'll add a little tone. A little bit of texture on this, I guess. So I'm just using the same color on multiply on the layer below. Just to give it a little, I don't know, a little something, make it less perfect. And also to just kind of accentuate the letters a little bit. And then maybe just, oops, wrong brush, wrong layer, I mean. Yep. All right, so I'm gonna hope that this does something cool. So I merged it all together, just fully committing, full send. And now we're just gonna see if we can make this kind of cool with just a little bit of with some the liquefy maybe. I'm gonna make 6 frames. So I'm gonna go to the second one. I'm gonna go to transform frame. I wonder if we just made it like, oh, I know what we could do. Let's make this a little bit smaller. So what I'm gonna do is using the bloat, I'm gonna start, oh, that's too small. We want, let's see. Finding the right size is sometimes the trickiest thing with the liquefy. Okay, so I did it on the edge, and then on this one, I'm gonna do it like there. And then on this one, do it there. And on this one, there. And then maybe just a little bit like that. I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna look. Let's see. This is kind of a fun little wiggle, I guess. Maybe if this, so maybe if we do a tiny bit of that on the first frame, it'll look less like it stops and it's just like always in motion. And then like a tiny bit over here from the last one. Let's see if that helps. It makes it look a little bit more undulaty. I don't know. It's kind of fun. I guess not having a plan sometimes you gotta do that thing. I hope this was interesting. Thank you all for hanging out. New video as always on Tuesday, live streams on Fridays. Thank you all. Shout out again to my channel members. Couldn't do it without you. It's been a good talk. Okay, bye everyone. Thanks, Aaron, for saying I made the nope dope. I said bye, and then I started looking at the chat. Oh, Skippy, you sent a question from the vertical. When do you know it's a good idea to use vector versus raster for lines? Honestly, even though I sell my own vector presets, vector is really only needed for like very specific situations. Like the only time I really need to use vector is if I'm like working on some sort of branding where it needs to be just easily reproduced in a million different ways. But like when I'm working pixel based, resolution is almost never an issue because I prefer working at a higher resolution anyway. So like if I'm working at 5 or 6,000 pixels wide, I'd have no issues printing that like 30 inches because that the equivalent of 30 like 3,000 pixels is 10 inches at 300 dpi. So double that, it's even bigger. So I prefer pixel brushes because there's so much more control. Like vector is points and curves, and like it has to be recalculated all the time. It can be kind of taxing on your application because anytime you resize or move, it's like recalculating. And if you have like a million points because you're trying to get something that looks like pixel-based brushes, it can be tedious. There's just inherently less control over them because they're a mathematical equation as opposed to just an image. Like pixel-based brushes are as close as you can get to natural drawing, and you can get much more natural looks because you're using natural textures, which you can't do in vector-based brushes, even with textured vector brushes, because they're an equation. It's all the same. So unless I know something has to be vector for a very specific reason, again, like branding, I'll always choose vector for branding because it needs to be. Like a professional logo has to be in vector because it needs to be infinitely flexible. It needs to be able to be produced on a billboard or like on a tiny little label and just be perfectly tight. So those are my thoughts on that. I do have a full video about vector art and like why you'd use it, when you'd use it, how to use it. So there's that. Anything else that I'm missing? I'm sorry if I missed other questions. Feel free to leave them in the comments on the video once it's posted. I do make the live streams unlisted afterwards so they don't mess with my stats, but they are still available. You just need to go to my playlists and then you'll see the live streams playlist and they're all in there. They're just not going to show up in my regular video feed. Because the algorithm will get confused. Okay. Smash the thumbs on the way out. Make sure you're subscribed. Okay. Bye, everyone.